Hello everybody and welcome to a train simulator video. Today we're driving a class 444 EMU from Southampton Central to Bournemouth. So the first thing we need to do is turn off the dialog box here. Then we're going to open the doors by pressing T. And the 444 by default is very simple to set up. All we really need to do is put the train into gear, cancel the automatic warning system, and then we need to set up the train's headlights by pressing H a few times. But I'll just go outside and check the front, make sure we have them set up correctly. Just need to press Shift and H to get them into the daytime setting. And that is the train ready for departure. The route we have is the Dovetail Game Southampton to Bournemouth route. It was originally released as a standalone route, but at the time of making this video it now makes up the three core routes that are supplied with Train Simulator 2020. The other two routes that you get with TS 2020 are the Norfolk and Southern N line, an American freight route, and the Nuremberg route, which is a German commuter route. The scenario we are playing comes bundled with this route, and it is a career scenario, so we will be scrutinised on our driving performance. The route itself comes packaged with the 444 and similar class 450 EMU. The model work of which was done by Master Key Simulations. However, all the scripting and sounds were worked on by Dovetail Games. So departing Southampton, the starting speed limit is 40 miles an hour. And we've got 13 miles to go to our first station call at Brockenhurst. Can now do 65 miles an hour. The sound you just heard there was the vigilance device, which sounds every 60 seconds, and we need to respond to it by pressing E. would like to apologise in advance for the tyre loading stutter that we are experiencing. Unfortunately, this is a train simulator issue and nothing I can really try and sort out myself. We're now down to 50 miles an hour. Can now accelerate up to 55 miles an hour, and after the next signal we'll be able to go further up to 60. Can now do 75 miles an hour. And after the next signal we'll be able to do 90, which is the line's maximum speed. The maximum speed of a 444 is 100 miles an hour. However, on the routes that the 444s operate on, they only ever reach a maximum speed of 90. They can be seen working out of London Waterloo to destinations such as Portsmouth and Weymouth. Now need to start braking down to 80 miles an hour. Can now do 90. I'm also going to apologise if you hear any wind and rain in the background. Unfortunately, the weather hasn't been too brilliant the past couple of weeks. It's been very wet and windy. Also, there's been a lot of flooding in many parts of the UK, which is never a nice thing. In a moment we're going to be slowing back down to 80 miles an hour. As we come round this curve, we'll be able to get it back up to 90 again. It seems to be one of those routes where the line speed seems to fluctuate quite a bit at regular intervals. I think the route itself in Train Simulator is about 37 miles long. It's one of your typical A to B routes, but you've also got the Lymington Pier branch included. Going to get ready to slow down for Brockenhurst now. And here we are at Brockenhurst interchange for the Lymington branch. Over the last couple of years, Brockenhurst has seen some major improvement works with a new footbridge and lifts to the platforms. Before the lifts and the platforms were introduced here, there used to be a movable gangway, which is how people with heavy luggage and wheelchairs would change platforms with the aid of station staff. This is a Brockenhurst signal box. got the level crossing here. I like the detail that's gone into the signal box. I think that looks quite nice. Class 450 has just arrived in from Lymington. Our next station stop is at New Milton, which is about 5 miles away. And after the station starter, we can start doing 90 miles an hour. One of the nice features of the Zeros in this particular package is that you can hear the AWS and Vigilance alarms from the external views, though this can be toggled off within gameplay as well. Cab has good amounts of detail. Just going to shut the power off as we are fast approaching an 85 mile an hour restriction. Which is just for a very brief section before we have to speed back up to 90. This is the passenger view of the 444, which, like the cab, has been very nicely detailed. The team at MKS have done a really nice job in modelling the unit. We're now going to start slowing down for New Milton. Just slightly overshot the platform, so I'll just reverse back a bit. And here we are at New Milton. In real life, trains wouldn't be able to reverse up like that unless they had special permission from the signaller. It's a weird little bug with the 444, how the tail lights are also showing up. To help if I have the train in forward gear. Next station stop is at Christchurch, which is another 5 miles away. We've then got to make a stop at Puxtown and Bournemouth. This scenario itself is about 35 minutes in length. If we just take a look outside at the moment, I don't think Dovetail's gone too scenery heavy, which is nice. only tend to focus on the things that you'll probably just see from the cab. Which is good because it cuts down on resources. When this route was first released, it also introduced a new type of trackside foliage, which actually probably accounts for the stuttering we've been getting. I know the 3D trees from Just Trains are quite bad for that on their routes, especially on the Chiltern route. But as I've already alluded to, it's not just the quality of the assets that affects route performance. It is also the game's engine, which is over 12 years old now. We now need to slow down for a stop at Christchurch. The speed limit is now 60 miles an hour. The only thing that irks me about Christchurch's station building is that the supports for the roof are just clipping through slightly, like here, and I think just down here, for instance. I do like the detail that they have put in around the station. I think that's quite nice. You got like your stuff like your travel information, your telephone boxes and ticket machines there. And there's like a little card reader there. The next station stop is at Folkestone, which is just about a mile away. And we're about 3 miles away from the end of the route of Bournemouth. I would have liked it if the route had been able to run probably as far as Weymouth. I think that would have been interesting. Or if Dovetail could have done it, but could have probably taken it through to Woking instead to link up with the Portsmouth direct line. Which would have at least allowed running from Bournemouth to Waterloo. Because otherwise there's not really any... It limits the scenario potential, I think. Going to slow down for Folkestone now. I think we just slightly overshot the 5-car marker there. Folkestone is pretty basic. There's a footbridge, and I think there's also lifts here. Could be wrong. We've got the travel posters there as well. Does look a bit dingy in here. We've now got another mile to go to the next and final stop at Bournemouth. In terms of scenario potential for this route, it's I think it's just pretty much passenger trains with some freight, small freight movements around Southampton docks. Other trains that you can run on this route, which are available for Train Simulator, are the Class 442 EMUs, which used to operate on this line between Weymouth and Waterloo. Could also run some Sandor electric multiple units on this route as well. In fact, the Lymington branch used to operate with Sandor EMUs until a few years ago when they stopped running them and replaced them with Class 450s on the weekdays, and I believe at the weekends Class 159s operate the Lymington branch. We've now got to slow right down to 25 miles an hour. The single amber means that or single yellow means that the station starter at Bournemouth is at danger. I think we slowed down a bit too fast there. And here we are at Bournemouth. So we'll just wait for the instruction to clear and we'll see how we got on. I think we did all right. Apart from the slight overshoot at New Milton. I think we got caught speeding a couple of times as well. So that's the end of the scenario. And we got a gold star and we scored about 994 points. And we got caught speeding about 4 times. So, but all in all, it's not too bad. And quite a very simple scenario. But really good for those of you who are just starting out with Train Simulator. But apart from that, thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you have enjoyed it, and I shall see you again with another video very soon. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it, and take care.